Hi, my name is Riley Allen. This is my review of Chapter 5 of Outlander titled The Mackenzie. We start off with Claire waking up from such a deep sleep that she don't even know her name when she wakes up. Like, where am I? What's my name? You could only dream of waking up from such a sleep. Like, So she's woken up by Miss Fitzgibbons, who, bustles around her and helps get her dressed in time-appropriate clothes. She also gives her some food, but Claire only pretends to eat it because, as Miss Fitzgibbons states, she's going to be bringing Claire to himself, aka the Laird of Castle Leoch, which is basically, the lord, the leader, the clan chief, whatever. She only pretends to eat because she's not really hungry, she's nervous, and she just wants to have time to think, so that's why she's pretending to eat. She kind of, ruminates on the fact that must be why they were willing to kill themselves to get to reach Castle Leoch, because they must have figured that the English wouldn't chase them deep into Mackenzie lands, to the heart of the Mackenzie lands, apparently. And, Claire spends a bit too long thinking about if they've ever ventured this far before or when they did it, before she's like, wait, no, that's not important. So she meets Colum and he introduces himself. Colum Mackenzie. Colin Ban Campbell Mackenzie, the Laird of Castle Leoch. So Claire proceeds to remember an interrogation technique that Frank told her about. How he learned that the best way to kind of survive I'm assuming just a regular interrogation, is, just stick to the truth as much as you can. So that's what she did. She stuck to the truth before she started sprinkling in lies. Eventually, Colum gets called away, and while he's out, Claire proceeds to snoop around, finding, books dated from 1720 to 1740 something. And while she says Colum didn't seem like someone who collects antiques, and they're far too new and, to be anything. So she looks for so she finds a half-finished letter from Colum, dated April 17th, 1743. Which basically is the final nail in the coffin for the confirmation that she's in the past. Also, I think this might be a test, because Colum, basically tells her when he comes back that he doesn't whole believe him, as when you've been the laird as long as he has, you learn not to believe people wholesale. He says she is now a guest of Clan Mackenzie, and until I can figure out what you're here for is kind of left unsaid. I'm kind of thinking him leaving. So I'm pretty sure he thinks she's an English spy. So him leaving might have been a ruse to see if she would snoop around, maybe? Or he could have just been legitimately called away. I don't know. I could be paranoid or something. I don't know. I could just be seeing things that aren't there, but I also love that Claire isn't really a Mary Sue type character. The only reason she'd know the interrogation technique is because her husband worked in intelligence during the war and probably, told her that one technique, which didn't even really work because Colum saw through it. I'm also really loving, I still love, the way it's written, that I just feel like I'm also in the room, This chapter wasn't kinda as busy, so to say. It wasn't really as busy as the last few. Like, the first couple chapters were real busy, all these moving parts, and even the last one, which I think was just like Jamie's backstory, was still pretty important. This one was just kind of, Claire meeting Colum, which I guess is fitting because I think this is the final chapter in the first part of the book. And from now on, in chapter 6 will be the start of the second part. So, I guess that's fitting, I guess. Overall, I'm going to give this chapter a 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in the next video.